decided to make a small little upgrade. Added these two little leg extensions to this side to help get the table level, because I'm on such a hill, you know. So when I put my tools or drinks or anything up here, it doesn't roll off, and I got a good, nice level workstation. It's not perfect, but close enough to government work. Well, this piece of I-beam is going to be my improvised anvil. I don't have the money to buy a anvil, but I'm going to file all the rough edges off here. That way you don't cut your hands, so it should be good to go. Now that I got my workbench done, I got my little anvil, grind it down, made it smooth and paint it, I can finally get into the floor. So my main objective right now is I got to take these two bolts out here. I'll probably have to drop the transmission cross brace to get to that bolt, but this one's coming out. I got to get this metal out. All this raggedy metal here has to get off of these frame rails. I'm going to have to cut up here, and I'll probably end up having to cut a little bit further up here to make this nice. And then once I do that, I can go back to the grinder, grind all this metal nice and smooth, clean it, and then go ahead and get some sheet steel and get ready to start fabricating these floors. So here we are at the barn in the old truck. I come up here to get my floors. Oh, I thought that brake line was a snake. It scared the poop out of me. So here's the metal that I'm going to be using for the floor in the Comanche. So I have to dig it out. And then these big Dana 30s, or Dana 60s axles, these came out of a 1 ton. So I'm not moving them because they're probably 10 million gazillion pounds. So I gotta dig this sucker out. This thing used to be an old furnace. I don't know if this metal is gonna be thick enough, but I'll give her a try. I don't have a mic, I can't really measure it, but if I put some reinforcements in it, it might work. Oh well, we'll just give her a try. This bench I made this morning is already paid for itself, because now this old furnace, I'm gonna go back here with my little sand in the wheel and sand all these spot wheels, drill all these spot wheels out, so I can have one full sheet of metal. It's Monday evening, and I'm about ready to wrap up all the work that I've been doing today. So I thought I would show you guys what I've got accomplished. So I've got the pasture floor. It is pretty much completely ready for the new patch panel. I did find some new rust right in here. There's a hole here, so I'm going to have to cut up to here and across and down and repair that. But I've got the whole body stripped. I've got the fender flares off of it. Next couple days I'm going to come back here and cut this out and replace this metal. Then you can see all the trim's gone, the grill is gone, all the emblems are gone. It is basically ready. The only thing I got to do now is take these old crappy mirrors off, take the cab vent off, and I'm going to take this cowl panel out because I want to separate this black grate from this and make sure this gets painted separately. That's about all I've got done so far. I've been going through a bunch of migraines here the last couple days. It's kind of slowed me down a little bit. But I have acquired a seat now. That's the seat back, and the guy gave me 2 seat bottoms where you actually put your butt. That way I could pick and choose. So he's sending me the hardware to attach the seats, and the lower seat frame, and then I should have a new seat cover and headrests in the next couple weeks. This is actually a late model Comanche bench seat because it's got the holes for the headrest, which is good. So here I got this little flex core welder. I picked it up at Harbor Freight on Saturday for $99. So this will come in real handy when I get to replacing the floors and patching that rear quarter on the bed. So I'm really anxious to see how this works. It doesn't need any shielding gas or anything like that because it's a flux core. Just plug it into your regular 110 wall outlet, pull the trigger, you're good to go. So I'm anxious to see how this thing, how it does. But what somebody did is they sprayed expandable foam up in this body cavity, which I don't know why in the hell anybody would do that. So that's my project today. See, that expandable foam didn't do anything for you. Maybe it adds a little bit of rigidity, but at the same time it holds moisture and it causes the inner fender panel to rot out. So I'm going to have to get all that foam out. This will be fun. I got a feeling this is going to be a bigger hassle than doing the floors. Looks like somebody stuck a teddy bear up in its crack. It's so fluffy. Oh my God, people are so dumb. What's that movie, Tropic Thunder? They say never go full retard. Well, whoever did this went full retard. You know, I've just come to realize these people were not trying to just patch a rust hole. They were trying to make this damn Comanche float. This is just ridiculous. Why would you do that? Oh my goodness. I gotta get it all out, or at least up as high as I possibly can, because if I start going and welding the patch panel, I don't want the sparks and stuff from the welder to come in here and maybe catch the foam on fire, or smolder or something like that. That would be bad news. So yeah, this is dumb. So here's what it looks like, all that foam inside there. Isn't that just peachy? This is what I'm doing. I'm cutting this whole piece out along this body line, coming down here. It just gives me access to the foam a little bit easier, and plus putting in a nice square patch panel will be a lot easier than, you know, having to do a squiggly line. So, now I'm going to give my air compressor a break because it's only a 5 horsepower air compressor, and to run these air tools really puts a heavy strain on it, and I heat it up a whole lot. So now I'm switching over to something else. Remember that dent I had here below the passenger side tail light? I'm taking my body hammers and I'm slowly trying to get that out to match that one. And I'm not trying to get it perfect, I'm just trying to beat that dent out, which I've beat a whole lot out already. Trying to get it out a little bit further, that way I can take my dolly here and hold up against it in certain places and try to get that curve back. Sorry for my camera work, it's kind of shitty this morning. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. As you can see, I got a lot of that crease out except for right here. It's just really hard to get that little crease out, but the rest of it has got a nice shape to it. Now I can go back with my little sander and smooth this up. And I'm not worried about all these other little imperfections. A lot of times you just can't fix that stuff, but that's where once you grind it down and get it nice and clean, you go back with your skim coat of filler and you do a little block sanding and bring this edge back and make it look just like it did when it was new. We got the bed rail. I'm gonna take another one of my metal dollies. Let's see, which one am I gonna use? I think I'll probably use this one. If it'll fit, nope, it won't fit. The object, that's a two-piece bedside. I won't be able to get anything that, I don't think. This one here might work. Sometimes you just have to have a piece of metal on the backside to get it to do what you want it. But, well, I'm not sure if I really did any good here. I think I brought it up a little bit. I just can't get that little circle back up because of the way it's shaped underneath here. So, I think it'd be okay. I just skim coat that and then I'll brown line it and never know it's there. Now what I have here, this is the lower bed front quarter, I guess you'd call it, and it's got a little damage here. It's got a dent right here that's pushing the bed out at an angle, plus there's a little divot right here I'm going to try to fix. I guess basically I'm just going to try to punch that back in, but I have to do it with two hands and I'll be using another dolly. So here's the progress so far. I've still got a little bend right here, but that's just because the metal underneath isn't perfectly symmetrical, I guess you could say. I like the words. But I'm gonna keep tapping at this right here because all metal wants to go back to its original shape. So you just take a bunch of small little taps, keep pushing this back in, and then I'll come to this crease and take my dolly, and from the back side I'll flatten this panel out and try to make it nice and smooth. But there's still quite a bit of V right here. You can see it right like that, so I'm gonna keep after it. Here's after all my last 45 minutes of beating. As you can see, I've got the bottom here looking a lot better. It's not perfect, but you know, with the tools that I have, I think that's totally in the realm of acceptable. So that's knocked out. I still got some low spots, but I hope I don't have this. This feels like I might have it a little bit too high. But again, this right here is the prime example of what a skim coat of filler is for. I'll skim it from here to here, go back and block sand it with a big enough block, and kind of blend it into this body line here. So even if this isn't perfect, it won't hardly even be noticeable. Only to the trained body guy would probably pay attention to it, because it's, as you can see, it's, let me get you down here. I don't think it's bad. So try down this way. Yeah, you know, for driveway repair, I think it's totally acceptable. Okay. Now the inner fender, it's not a priority, because you can see the outside of the bed's been galvanized, which is fine. So if this ever does rot out, I can take it out. I can take this wheel off and just knock it out from the inside, and either do like a wrapper liner or put a plastic inner fender liner in it and attach it with some sheet metal screws or something. But I'm just trying to get all the loose stuff. And take my air hose. Okay, I know I said I wasn't gonna fool with the inner fender, but it drove me crazy. So what I did is I went ahead and cut out all the rusty inner fender, and I still need to trim it up and get some of the real weak parts off of it. And I'm gonna grind down here, get this nice and smooth. Now there's paint on this back side. It's in nice condition, so I'm gonna smooth this edge out. And I'm going to tack weld a new piece of metal in here and make a new inner fender. And I guess I'm going to get I'm going to see if a Jeep Cherokee rear quarter right above the wheel will actually match these body lines. If so, I'll just cut one out of a junkyard or something and patch that back. So, but anyways, I keep getting some cloudy skies. Kind of feels like it might rain, so I think I'm gonna end this video here, and I'll have another video here in the next couple days, I guess. So if you would like and subscribe, leave your comments below. I'll talk to you guys later.